The Top 100 Archive and Studio is on the verge of opening to the public. It will host programs related to the ongoing Top 100 project that is now in its 37th year. Exhibitions, videos, guest performances, and research initiatives are among the activities to be happening in this new space. The archive itself consists of thousands of paintings, tens of thousands of pages of lists, indexes, and essays, binders full of source materials, and shelves filled with music resources. Join me on the journey into the ever-expanding field where art meets music archaeology. Hello everybody, the third of the series of videos to illustrate this song. It's a magic song. I mean, Song for Rain, that kind of implies a ceremony, right? A rain dance. And so here you see these Bobo people engaged in a dance. I'm not sure what kind of ceremony that is. It is not specified under the photograph. But anyway, I chose to go for that one. The image is placed rather awkwardly on my paper, and it will not be the final placement. I'm gonna finish this drawing. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of prepare for a stencil that I'm gonna cut, which will then be the base of the artwork that will be created. So if I have a stencil, I can easily shift the positions a little bit left or right, or change the spacing a little bit. All these things is what I'm planning on doing. This song by the Gwen people of Upper Volta, which is today, it was then called Upper Volta, it was part of Equatorial French Africa, and today it is called, that country is called Burkina Faso. Let me just play a little bit of the song to kind of get you in the mood perhaps. Here it goes. It's mostly instrumental, but there's a bit of a man's chorus in there as well. You hear rattles, harps, the bells, and then beautiful rhythmic chants with the whole song only lasts less than 2 minutes. Song for Rain by the Glen song. Having my beer in the process, my printing inks, cutter, roller, everything I set up for everything I need in the process of making this stencil. Cheers! And I might as well, in the meantime, start working on this. I'm going to start this figure on the left, which is convenient. It saves, because I'm using now, to do the values, a very soft pencil, and it smears easily. So it's just a matter of convenience that I start on the left, since I'm right-handed, and then I don't have to smear. But that was the end of the song. This is the album cover of the song for Rain by the Gwen tribe. That is listed in the Top 100 2020 at this moment in the ongoing list at number
19, the Columbia World Library of Folk and Primitive Music. And this is volume 2, French Africa. The music that I'm illustrating is by the Gwin tribe. I could not find an appropriate image of the Gwin tribe, so I settled for this image that you see here, reproduced on the front of the liner notes booklet that is included in the album. And it's a picture that is captioned here, Dancing Bobo. The Bobo are also from Burkina Faso, just like the Gwin tribe is, that performs the song for rain. And they're neighboring. They're from the southwest of the country, relatively close to the border, Ivory Coast, I believe it is. The initial line drawing that is the base for the stencil print I am going to create. It took me way too long and I used way too much eraser on here. But anyway, I got it to a point where I thought the proportions were decent and I could work with it. I did this on Friday afternoon, this drawing.
So it's now an hour and a half later, and I don't know if you can see the drawing. And so I did what I said I was going to do. I was going to add the value in there and make a design for the stencil, to cut stencil. Pleased with this drawing now. I like it much better than I did before when it was a line drawing. It got a little bit of the spark back, and I also had to, you know, all the while that I was doing that, I was adjusting the anatomy of the people. So in a minute, I'm gonna start to cut, and I'm cutting away first, just a little bit. That I'm sure is going to be pure black, and I'll do some proofs and cut some more, and the process of the stencil print is going to get started. And I probably won't be done with the whole stencil, you know, with the final product. The final product is really this one piece that I'm after, and you know, if I can print like several others, that's simply, you know, a bonus. But for me, it's about just this one original, if you. Yeah. I did the drawing, the line drawing, the sketch. I did that yesterday, and it's already. Let me look at the clock. It's already 5:30. So, you know, I probably, you know, start cutting and getting, you know, most of the first, that's going to be pure black done, and a couple of proofs done, but the final project will be, you know, will be finished tomorrow. So I'm gonna then, you know, continue to give like video updates. All at the same time, I'm making pictures of it too, so I can show you, you know, on the video the progress in more detail as this detail that you see here. So, all right, let's see how it goes. So I'm ready to go do some printing. I probably should turn it up a little so you can see my face while I talk. Let's see, how does that frame? A little bit more there. So I'm in my backyard now. It's 7:30 now in the evening, and there was a storm while I was working on the stencil, and the storm has passed over and it's dry and it's comfortable outside. So here I am in my outdoor studio right in front of my real studio. So I have my stencil here, right, and it's laying on top of a I'm going to do the first proof, and I see now that I need a strip of paper so I can avoid over printing. Print this first figure on the left. As you can see, I push it slightly away from its original position. It's a little tedious, but this is where I want that figure. So let me I'm going to use black, but I am going to not just use black. I'm adding a little bit of brown and blue into it just to make the black a little richer. There we go. This is acrylic. Use that for printing ink. I forgot one more thing, which is a brush. Got myself a little bowl to mix in, but I mixed right on the plate that I'm gonna roll the ink onto. Alright, brush. So I'm gonna stir this all together. Get a nice, rich, deep black. I'm hoping, at least. It's just fine. I'm not gonna mix up too much because I don't think I'm gonna print all that much. But this is, like I said, this is just a proof, and I'll see what happens with it. One of the proofs, actually, I'm gonna reuse to get my next stencil out of. So I've decided now that the mid color, I'm going to print that in gold. So what I'm going to do on one of the proofs, I'm going to whatever I want printed in the mid tone, I'm going to just paint it on there before I cut it out, so I can see what it's going to look like right away before I cut it out. And then, you know, after I cut it out, I can just stencil it. I should put this brush in water. I got a thing of water right behind me here. If it wants to open, there we go. And actually, I need that brush. That was done. Well, let's see. So let's see how this goes. Here comes the first figure. The edges, oops, stay right in place. Get another brush. This one is wet now. Big brush. Oh, this was my sheet. Put it under. Let me first do it. It's tedious. This stays there. So So you're going to see something like of a first result, but the final product is not anything like this. I'm still in preparation for that final product. So now I'm taking this away and be careful to not overprint. I'm gonna have to for if I were to do the real edition, make the stencil so it's not like this tedious. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Oop. Gotta be very careful. The stencil needs to dry now. And the good thing about having it dry is that the stencil will become a little sturdier. So I think it looks alright. That's the first figure. And so normally I would wait before I put the next group of 3 on, because the back of the stencil is going to touch the wet paint. I'm going to have it dry first. But since it's this is just a proof, I'm just going to go ahead, because I also really want to see what it's going to look like when all the figures are placed where I want them. I'm going to go ahead and also paint print these other group of 3 figures on here. Let me let it dry a little bit. I'm going to mix up a little bit more paint so I don't run out halfway into printing this. Black and blue, I don't think I need the brown, really. Black and blue makes black. Black and blue makes black. Be careful not to get too much paint on this brush, because I'm using it to print with as well. Yeah. Okay, let's place it carefully. Like I said, much further to the right. And perhaps right here. The top is going to be a little bit of a problem, but I'll deal with it. Okay, let's see how that goes. Let's get some paint on here. Press the positive spaces into brush. Again, I gotta be careful not to have too much paint on here, because that's gonna screw it up. Carefully remove this. Ooh. More careful. The stencil, by the way, needs to carefully dry, and I'm gonna put it away on this table to dry. There. So this is what I got so far. Well, I'm going to print another one.
This is the first print that I created from the stencil. A test. And this is the 3rd or 4th of the test that I did. where I suddenly realized I should not space these figures further apart, but rather closer together. And on the next prints I created, I started by hand with gold paint and a tiny brush to introduce a mid-tone in the image to see, you know, to plan what I was going to do next with the stencil. The placement now here is a definite kind of placement, except the whole grouping shifts a little bit to the right. And I did the same thing with the gold paint here. This is the actual placement. As you see, shifted a little bit further to the right. This stencil was the first one that instead of using acrylic paint, I use spray paint for the background. The gold is, as it was in the previous image, painted on top. It's the first result after I created the stencil for the background. And this is spray paint. The background is spray paint, blocked out by organic materials, aerography. The second proof I created this is the background stencil. And it kind of looks interesting in its own right. With seeing the overspray, the white spots are where the stones held down the paper, keep it from blowing away. This is the stencil for the figure, the front.
Good morning. It's Monday morning now. I spent yesterday a good part of the day printing a lot of proofs and I got several done. I recorded those too, but unfortunately the battery ran out while I was printing. So what I'm going to do today, the final step in the process, I have now all 3 stencils cut and it's ready to make an addition. I'm all set up. I'm going now to aim the camera at my workplace on the ground here. It's beautiful Monday morning and do it. Collected some material from the yard which functions for the background, for, you know, an impromptu chance induced background with just like organic stuff from the background, sticks and stones and gravel and grass. It's a technique, it's a surrealist technique and it's called aerography. That's how I'm going to do the background with. But first let me make an impression of the figure. It's all going to be 2 colors, black and gold. Putting those in shade. I'm opening up the black. That's one. Now for the other group of people. Line this up. move. Couple of rocks. This for overspraying. And here we go. This is the mid-tones, which is the stencil, and it should completely line up if I line up the paper. Should do it. Gold. It. This needs to dry again. Dries very quickly. Bring out the stencil for the background here, which is simply to cover up the figure part, and that should perfectly line up. Line up the paper. There. There's a little bit of offset, but hey. There. Okay, now the front part. Create the textures. So this is also two-tone, using the very same two colors, gold and black. I'm going to start with putting some sand on there, give it a little texture, more at the bottom, less at the top. Of course, this is pure chance. I cannot like place every grain of sand. It's aquarium sand, it has a good texture to it. Take my glasses off. A little bit more. Just add a little stuff to it. Stuff that most of it's going to blow away. Sticks. I'm going to paint it very lightly. There. Black again. That'll about do it. I'm done with black, so I'm gonna clean the nozzle, holding the can upside down. And let's see what we got. Off. Shake off the sand. lovely little texture. And now I'm gonna do that once more, but now with gold. Put the stencil back on. The grassy part. Alright, let's do this. So I'm not gonna sweat it. Just however it falls. Here comes the gold again. Let's do it. Clean the nozzle. Clean up my mess. So it's all it takes. And this is then the final step in the process of finishing the first of the potential prints. And what I'm going to do now is touch up a little bit. With a little bit of white paint. Then the other thing that is left to do is to sign it and provide the data that I customarily add to these works. This particular area. I'm going to do a quick glance over to see if anything else can use a little touch up. Let's see if there's anything else that jumps at me. That'll probably do it. Just a few little touches with black. Tiny little bit. And I see another spot here. flag. I believe we're good. Alright, so the final touch then is the writing down of different data. First of all, use this area, let me write down the song it illustrates, which is Song for Rain. And this was by the wind people. If I could just spell people, right? Of Upper Volta. Which is today Gouin of Burkina Faso. Then right here, the title of the illustration. These are Bobo, that is Bobo ceremony. Or ceremonial dance is probably better. Now the album it comes from, which is, I'm gonna kind of use some of this negative space here, from the Columbia World Library of Folk and Primitive Music. Volume 2, French Equatorial Africa. Print numbers number 1. Today's date, the 15th. Then the COVID stats for Burkina Faso. Running out of room. Small. Burkina Faso. COVID-19. And I have a website here. Which is Worldometer. They keep track of all the different countries and their COVID-19 stats. Let's see if I can find Burkina Faso. It should be around here somewhere. There's Burkina Faso. Today, as of today, 894 cases, 53 deaths. And that should do it. It's kind of interesting to see. I did a Burkina Faso before, just last week or a few weeks ago. 888 cases, 606. So now it's 9 days later, and only 6 more cases. No further people died compared to 9 days ago. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back for more soon. Bye now.
This then is the final product, finished. Thank you for watching. Consider becoming a patron of the Top 100 Archive and Studio to receive prints like this one, video and blog updates, and much more. Have a wonderful day, and check back in for the next video in this series. Thank you.